numbers are 572-0383 and 572-0215. Rev-Up St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good night to our listeners and to our viewers in St. Lucia and across the globe, especially those of you on Facebook, on YouTube, and now X. Welcome to Hard Drive for today, Monday, the 14th of April. My name is Andre Paul, the co-host of the show, none other than the lovely Kina. Kina, good morning.
Good morning, Andre. Good morning, listeners. How is everyone doing today? Happy Monday.
We are well. Happy Monday to you as well.
You look bright this afternoon. This
Afternoon?
morning. No, you look so bright. It's like the sun is just shining on your head. That's why. What's happening?
Yes.
You had some amazing news.
I always have amazing news.
Do tell.
Amazing news, amazing stories. You name it, I got it. So talking about news, I got it. You looking for a place to go with a special someone, Kina?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, good. Or maybe just friends. Friends.
That too.
The place is JJ's Paradise. Come and indulge in our weekly specials. Monday and Thursday night, it's steak night. And you had the steak, right?
Yes, I did.
And that was thick.
Delicious.
It was
Let
thick.
me tell you. Actually, it was juicy because I had mine medium rare. It was just the way I like it.
Yes. So you, in fact, I could tell you were enjoying it.
Yeah, I did.
So every Monday and Thursday, it's steak night. And also Wednesdays, seafood night. Come enjoy delicious meals in a relaxing atmosphere at JJ's Paradise in Marigot Bay. For reservations, please call 721-7693, 721-7593, and 721-7493. I'll repeat those numbers in just a moment because JJ's is currently seeking qualified candidates for the following positions: housekeepers, chefs, cooks, and dishwashers. For more information, you can call 721-7693, 721-7693, 721-7593, that's 721-7593, or 721-7493, that's 721-7493. JJ's Paradise in Marigot Bay. So, how was your weekend, Hina?
My weekend was pretty good, it was pretty good. Restful.
Okay, all right, yeah. I on Friday night, I usually do my thing at Dax, and boy, that was knocking on Friday. I think people are making up for this coming Friday, knowing that there'll be no Dax.
Oh, really?
On Friday night.
Was it a packed?
I mean, I wouldn't say packed, but it was good turnout, very good.
What time
it's usually good. People usually. It's almost like the waves that come in and go back.
You always say this.
Yeah,
though.
they come in and they go.
Come back in
but
and
Friday,
so on.
man, they just stayed there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just stayed there. What?
It was just strictly country and western.
No. I mean, I mix it up.
Oh,
yeah,
like kind of Kaiso and soca.
I even placed the new
rock?
school in between as well.
Did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Because you have young people over there as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I thought it was just strictly country and western.
No. It's, majority is country and western. Yeah. Now, I also went to a funeral on Saturday morning, and at the funeral, if you haven't seen some people in a while, especially your old friends, it's good to go to a funeral.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you see lots of them. Yeah.
I hate funerals.
You see lots of them.
If that's the way I'm going to see old friends, then why not?
Exactly. Exactly.
I haven't seen a few in a while, decades even.
Yeah, when I think that's a funeral. It's a solemn occasion, right? And you have to be so careful because when you see them, you haven't seen them in a long time.
You're so excited,
you tend to be excited and you want to smile and laugh, and then you have to check yourself and say, "Oh my God, that's a solemn moment." I can't be laughing like that.
Right.
People might say, "What the heck is this guy doing there?"
It's best I don't go then because my laugh is just gone.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
I think I'll stay away.
That's true. Yeah, and maybe you should avoid giving the eulogy. Yeah,
I think that's going to be really serious, so I should be fine.
You should be fine.
A funny moment. Yes.
Because sometimes they are. Father Albert was there giving the.
Oh my goodness, Father Albert.
He was there, and boy, he said some things, and people were laughing.
Oh.
Laughing at the funeral. You're right there.
Oh my gosh, if I was there, he said something.
Because he's humorous.
Yeah, he is.
He's humorous.
He is.
Yeah, the way he puts the little thing.
Father Albert is one of a kind.
Let me give you a little joke. I was going to a funeral in Soufrière a few years ago, right? So, you know me, I don't speed. I don't speed. So I saw this vehicle overtake me, man. Whoosh, I say, "Hey."
What did the vehicle do?
He just overtook me.
No, that's not what you said.
What did I say?
Woojoop.
Yeah, it overtook me. Woojoop. You know, we solutions, we have a sound
Yes,
for everything
for
already.
everything,
So he
yeah.
would take me woojoop. So I said, but we're driving so fast there. Anyway, so I went about my business and so on, because as long as the person got to their destination safely, I got to
Right.
mine safely, we good. We good.
Private,
Right?
yeah.
So Father Albert was there at the funeral. They're giving, of course, giving a homily as always. So while giving a homily, he said he overtook Andre Paul.
What? No way! No way! No way! No way! He didn't! No way! No!
So he was the culprit. He was the culprit.
At least he was being honest.
I think,
You know?
I think he was late. He was late.
So he was speeding. Not only he was late, he was speeding, and he there went and he said this.
I laugh
Oh
so
my
much.
God.
Yeah. So he's really a humorous
Yeah,
guy.
he is.
Yeah, you're a humorous
Yeah,
guy.
what did you say
I like
to
him.
him
I love
after,
him.
though?
I love him. Pardon?
What did you say to him after?
No, I just laughed. It was
Okay,
funny. It was funny. It was really funny. I say, oh, you not did that.
gosh.
Yeah. So it's a cool thing. I like, when people can put humor in serious things. Yeah, it's such a
But
cool
Albert
thing.
is very, very different, and when wherever he is, just know it's just gonna be himself,
Yes.
no matter what anyone says.
He was saying at the funeral, he was saying how life is good, he enjoys his life and everything is good. He say he enjoyed life so much that he says he putting on weight.
Isn't that the thing that everyone says? When you're enjoying life, you put on weight, right?
That's what he said.
So I agree with you, Father Albert. You go, boy.
That's what he said.
Go,
And
Father
for true,
Albert.
I'm looking, when he said it, I'm looking at the cassock, because the cassock is big. And I could see the belly protruding.
Boy, Andrew, stop, please stop right now. Stop. If Father Albert is listening to you
I
right
did
now,
check
he
that
must be
you- that-
thinking you need prayers.
That's amazing. When people say those things now, most times you don't even notice what they're talking about, right? It's when they bring it to your attention, you say,
Right.
oh, that's true. That's true. Like some of your ladies, you will bring up the things that you all are conscious of,
Like
right? I always knew I had a big forehead. They'll say stuff like that.
I always know.
Yeah, have you
that,
noticed
yeah.
my big forehead? Yeah, things like that.
Or have you known that I'm putting on weight? My dress is a bit
Exactly. I said they bring attention to the
they
thing.
Bring attention
And
to
sometimes
it.
you-
We do, because we want feedback. Not on the forehead though. I know mine is big. It's big. Like
So you see,
anything.
you see. Let me tell you something. When you see we are into you all, right? When we are into you all, we see no faults.
Oh really?
Okay, we see no faults.
We don't think that though. It's like we want to be not perfect, but we just want to be. We want to know that you appreciate us sometimes, and sometimes we don't feel. Not that we don't feel appreciated, because we do gain weight or we do lose. Sometimes you wear something and you don't feel like it fits right, so you need that feedback. You need reassurance from your partner.
Yes.
A lot of the times, that's what we're looking for.
And let me make a quick, but very important comment. Sometimes because we appreciate the person that's in our life, our significant other, that we want to share our fondest memories,
Right.
and that would include sharing pics of yourself, especially when you're a lot younger.
Oh really?
Now, I find that when I look at my pics from long ago, to me, my pics are so great. To me, now I have pics.
Okay.
When I look at the pics, I'm totally different. So I remember one time I was dating this lady, and when she showed me a pic of her, I think she was in her maybe early teens. She was a little chubby. She was a little chubby, and I remember making a comment about it. Now, it was supposed to be a joke, but it actually hurt her.
You don't ever make a comment on somebody's weight, especially when they're, a bit heavier. They take that.
Yes. So I was just saying that I learned that lesson.
Yeah.
And she was actually crying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she felt really, really bad. And of course, I had to apologize. So let me just make a quick point. When we show our significant other our pics, we are putting ourselves on the line.
Oh, really?
Okay, yes, because we are vulnerable at that moment. And you need to have somebody who is sensitive to your feelings, right? and don't make jokes about those kinds of things, because people feel bad. They really do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
They really, you look at the picture and say, hey, boy, your forehead was really big, you know. Something like that. You know, we'll say something like that, right?
Yeah.
And we mean it
they
as
would,
a
because
joke.
they're not really, yeah.
Yeah, we
They-
mean it
they
as a
would.
joke. You don't really mean it, especially if it's your significant other.
Yeah.
But we tend to be very
And not only that, it's just how we as Lucians say things. You know, it just comes out sometimes really harsh.
And
funny.
let me add a little more again. You are dating a man or dating a woman. Please do not constantly bring up their faults. When I say I'm talking about the physical faults. Sometimes we do that. We put a spotlight on it, not realizing what we are doing. Right? He knows he doesn't. He's not a muscular guy, so they will touch him, you know, and say, "Hey, where your muscles are, man? where your muscles are?" You know that kind of thing.
I guess it's how it's said. So if a woman out there is doing this currently, what I would suggest is, you know, go to the gym with him, get him some, you know, dumbbells, you know, and exercise.
Just don't say anything.
Just don't say anything.
Yeah, leave that alone.
Maybe what happened was when they met him, you know, he was buff.
Well, exactly, exactly.
A bit buff.
So don't,
now, you know,
don't say anything. Leave that alone.
she's maybe trying away, but I agree with you. I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's suffering with alopecia or something like that. Alopecia.
Yeah,
right?
alopecia.
Don't make a comment about her hair.
Let me give you a joke.
Mhm.
I'm already laughing.
Now,
So
don't.
remember I said to you a long time ago I went bald, right?
You did?
And yeah, a long time ago I just cut everything off, right?
Mhm.
And I remember when my significant other came, I said, you know what? No, prior to that I said, you know, I cut my hair. He's like, what? No, no, that can't be true. I said, yes, I did. He hadn't seen me yet. So guess what happened? Let me tell you, I was sleeping, right? So he came over. So obviously you bald, you go sleep just like it is. The moment I had a door unlocked, let me tell you, I got off the bed like Flash trying to put something because I know he hadn't seen me yet. So when he came, he says, why are you running? I'm like, well, I'm trying to. He says, what's wrong with your hair?
Your hair or your head?
My head. He said, you know what, I didn't sign up, you know, for a guy.
Oh, man.
No, but the way he said that, it was like so funny. And I looked at him, I said, well, it's not there, there's none there. What do you want me to do? So he goes, so what happened? You go cut everything and now you're going to wear a wig?
So,
Let me tell you.
so how long?
That was like zero. It took me from 0 to 100 real quick. I laughed so hard, let me tell you.
So what year was that?
That was recent.
Oh, that happened recently? I thought that happened about 10 years ago. All right, okay. Yeah, because you know, we the fellas, there's certain things that attract us about you.
Yeah.
And when you don't have those things anymore, or for example, say it's a whole setup, right, where you know how you're able to make up and make yourselves look different.
Yes.
Something totally different. And now a guy is attracted to what he sees.
What he sees, right.
And then when
We
all of a
always hear
sudden
that.
now the reality sets in that this is not who I met. You understand?
Right.
So we are
No,
be
but there's
careful.
nothing wrong with going bald.
No, but the guy didn't. I say he didn't sign up for that. Yes, because when he saw you,
I just said he didn't. What about? Hey, you remember when you get married? Is for richer or poorer? Or what else it
but
is?
you were married.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Now,
boy.
on that thing about for richer or for poorer, that's another controversial one, boy.
There's so many things, yeah.
That's a
true.
controversial one.
That's a controversial one.
Because say you marry your husband, right? And say you're 30 and say he's 60.
What?
60.
Okay, 30, 60,
You're 30
right,
and
the age
he's
gap,
60.
right.
So you're 30 year age gap.
Yes.
And then he gets to be 80 and then you're 50. Right? You're 50. And then all of a sudden now at 80, this is when we really begin to deteriorate.
Yes.
Everything is
yes.
going. Everything is going.
Yeah.
I remember there was a friend of mine who found himself in that particular situation, and he wasn't able to really go out. And his wife was a lot younger.
Right.
She asked him to go with her on her birthday to this particular place. There was a disco. I knew both of them, and I was there, right? And he loved her so much. He loved her so much that he decided to go. But he's an old man. He's an old man, and he went inside there and he sat there the entire night watching his wife there dancing. I mean, she was dancing by herself.
Right.
Right, watching her dancing. I
Oh,
said,
that's
what,
amazing.
What? So, for better or for worse,
That's true love right there.
yeah.
I can't do it, baby, but I'm gonna watch you dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the reality is that this is what you signed up for. As you said, your boyfriend told you, I didn't sign up for that. Boy, that's rough. That's rough. You're there. You with him. You didn't leave him. You're taking care of him. You're doing the best that you can for him. But you're a human being, and he's alive.
Yeah.
He lives to be 90.
90,
He lives to be 100. And you're there for better or for worse.
When someone deteriorates before your eyes, it's very painful. And I'm really kudos to the individuals that stick by their significant other through thick and thin, no matter what's happening, they are there. And it's great to see couples like that, because when you watch them, it kind of inspires you, like, hey, you know what?
But that's not what I want.
What you wanna
What
hear?
I want to hear is for better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
Because that's a situation where she's still fairly, quote unquote, young. And he's a very old man.
Well,
He's
you
a very
signed up
old
for
man.
it. That's what you signed up for. Before you got married, you knew he was older.
Yeah.
You knew that was going to happen, so it comes with it. Age comes with it.
Is somebody supposed to blame you if you decide now to say, hey, I have these feelings, very, very powerful feelings, and I have to have them met? And would somebody understand? Would somebody understand if you stepped out of the
I don't think
the marriage
so.
and
No, I don't think so.
Because should somebody be condemning you for doing that?
Well, when you met the person, you knew the person was a lot older, so you knew at some point in time that's going to happen as well. So it's and again, it's based on what the relationship is based on. Pretty much a lot of people, because there's a spiritual aspect, the emotional aspect, the physical aspect. And if your relationship solely relies on the physical aspect, then obviously you'll have a problem later on. Because when, the person's faculties and so on begins to deteriorate, where are you now as it relates to the intimacy? And there are different levels of intimacy, right? It doesn't have to be sexual in the sense of, penetration and so on. You could just lay next to the person, lie down, hug, watch a movie.
Every night?
That's intimate.
Every night?
But some people make it work because they understand.
I ask you, every night?
I don't see anything wrong with it. I honestly wouldn't, because I know why I fell in love with you and why we got married to begin with. And I know you're aging, and I'm still there, and I love you. And
as I said, I understand that. You don't leave. Whether it's the man, whether it's the woman, you don't leave the person, and bravo to you for that. But you have feelings.
I can't speak on it because I'm not in the situation. I don't know.
Just food for thought.
I'm
Food
not
for
in the
thought.
situation.
And I'm asking,
so
should we condemn somebody? They haven't left the husband. They're still there with him, but they have feelings. And if somebody can take care of that for you, it's not that you be beholden to the person. Folks, I'm not saying do it. Just with food for thought. Should we condemn people when they do those things, considering all the stress that this person is already under?
I don't even know why we're trying to make an excuse or something right now.
No, at all.
If you do not want to
Food
be in
for
this
thought.
situation, don't be in the situation. Don't find yourself in a situation like that, plain and simple. Not only that, Andre, I'll flip the script just a little bit and say that on the flip side, someone's aging, and that's deterioration right there. What about someone who gets involved in an accident and they become paralyzed? And you're the same age. Stay.
Same thing.
Take care of the woman or the
we
man.
just got married at age 25. 25. He has an accident. Okay? 25. So what does she do? Huh? You tell me. 25.
I can
30.
only say what I would do.
Tale. 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 65, 70, 75, 80. and the person is still there. What are you supposed to do at 25? You started at 25.
I could only say what I would do. I
Yeah,
can't
you
speak
brought
for
up the
someone
scenario.
else.
Yeah, what's
I would
there?
stay. I wouldn't be going looking for someone else to satisfy my needs.
From 25
I would
years old?
stay. I made the decision. An accident happened. I would stay. What is a few minutes of pleasure? And the person that I love is right there.
I'll tell you exactly what it is. A few minutes of pleasure.
Oh, come
By
on.
the way, Kenny Rogers has a song called Ruby. You ever played that song?
No, I'll play it later.
Yeah, play it. And listen. You know, Kenny Rogers is a master storyteller.
Okay.
Or whoever writes his songs for him.
Yes.
When you hear Card of the County, that's a master story,
Okay.
right? Card
I'll
of the
play
County.
later.
Ruby, without going into any details, he says to her, because apparently he's in a wheelchair, and he says to her, "Don't take your love to town."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, don't take your love to town. He knows where she's going to. He knows that, but he's in a wheelchair.
Ouch.
And he's there pleading with her. "Oh, Ruby, don't take your love to town."
You must have played that so many times already. You remember the lyrics of it?
I know it very, very well. I know it very well. So today you must play it, right?
Okay, I will.
Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers, Ruby, I will play.
Hey,
I'll
you know,
play it.
when you can write a song and tell a master story, you got it made.
You got it made, yes.
You got it made.
Lyrically, yeah.
A lot of the songs, fellas, just start
They're
a song.
lacking.
There's no story. There's no story to the thing.
To it.
You can build. You can start the foundation, and then build on that,
build on that,
and
and
a
the
story.
chorus, and
You
it flows
good
into
to
the
go.
next line,
Yeah.
flows into the next.
And another trick again. If children can like your song,
Then you have a hit.
you got it. You got it.
Talking about songs, my niece was rapping today.
Oh, she was.
You want to hear?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Why
She-
not? How old is your niece?
3.
She's 3.
years.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's rapping already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is. Okay, let me get it. Where is it?
So she wrote her own song.
I don't know.
All
Somebody.
lyrics.
There.
Ground squat. Oh no. We don't want to bear. We're going to catch a big one.
Wait.
Beautiful there. We're not scared. Uh-oh.
A forest.
A forest. A deep dark forest. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Double check, double check, double check. We don't want to bear her. We're going to catch a big one. Oh, what a beautiful day. We're not scared. Oh, snowstorm. Swirling, snowstorm. You can't go over it. Can't go under it. Oh no, you've got to go through it.
She's just 3 years
She's
old.
3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little rapper there already.
I know, right?
Mhm.
And I got that 3 a.m. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What's the name?
Imani.
Imani.
Yes.
Okay. Little
Yeah.
Imani, good morning to you. I know you listen to your auntie.
Hi, Imani. Auntie loves you.
All right. You know, there's I think the Ministry of Sports
Mm-hmm.
is now scouting for young people with with potential.
Oh, great.
I think that is such a cool thing.
I think so too.
They're more into the sports thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I think they're going to be expanding that. And I was just thinking and saying to myself that I think they're doing some training with teachers and so on,
Mm-hmm.
especially those who are involved in sports. And that's the sort of thing that all parents need to know, right? How to spot the talent
talents within that child that you have.
Yeah. I find that such a cool thing to do that. And they said they're looking for children. I think they're already scouting as young as 6, I think.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think they should go younger, like 3, 4. Because you do.
And they'll discover Amani.
Yeah, you just yeah. But not only that, scouting is okay. Spotting, a talent within that a child is great, but also support for that child's talent is even better. Because a lot of times parents will be like, "You can't do that. You ain't going nowhere with that," and a whole bunch of other things, and they dampen your dream.
Yeah, they're training teachers to recognize or assessing the students' skills and so on. These are skills that parents need to
Yes, I think
develop
that's
as well.
important as well to
I wonder if
develop,
there's
yes.
some way they can take those the training and reach parents as well.
Most likely, I think they will.
I hope
think
so.
they will.
I hope
think they
so.
will. I think they will.
Yeah. Yeah,
they
because the kids, they're loaded with talent. They are loaded.
We have so
I
many
keep saying
talented
that.
children in our
You know,
society.
we tend to judge them because they look in a little lapo.
Yeah.
You know how kids look a little lapo?
Yeah, a little bit.
It doesn't mean anything. They have these talents that are there, these latent talents, and what we do as parents, we stifle it.
Yes, we do.
Now, I
A lot of
understand
times,
the
because
academics.
we just don't see a future for our child.
Yes.
You know, we think, okay, we're on Tali Island. There's nothing that you could do. You have to do this and go so far. People are going to stop you. So look at Julian Alfred,
So many, but
Darren Sammy, and so many
There's
others
so many
before.
others.
Laverne Spencer. We could go on and on. Rick Wayne. Yeah.
I suspect if we probably would have seen Rick's pics when he was a kid, vis-a-vis when he became Mr. Olympia, Mr. Universe.
Have you seen them?
Yes, well,
I
not as a
haven't.
kid. I haven't seen him when he
Oh.
was a kid, but I saw him when he was Mr. Olympia / Mr.
I've seen a
World,
few.
etc., etc.
I've seen a
So,
few.
so you look at. I'm sure Rick didn't come with all those
No.
bulging muscles and so on.
No.
You don't come like that. You come there looking
No.
lapo.
Yeah. You say lap.
Yeah, that's how we look. We look lapo. So parents look at us now and think as though we are lapo.
Yeah.
But we're not.
Yeah, we are.
We loaded the skills. Right? God gives us those skills so that we can survive in this world.
Oh, yes.
That's how we make it, from those skills.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true. I understand the academics. Very, very important.
The academics are very, very important.
Very important.
Yes,
So it's
I
good
absolutely
for,
agree with that.
yes, even if you see the child is very good at cricket, or in the case of Laverne Spencer and
Julian
Alfred.
yes.
Yes. So we have to try our best to ensure we have a balance.
A balance, yes. A balance is very, very important. You can't have talent without, some form of education, because you're going to be taken advantage of.
Big time.
So it's
Also,
very
in a
important.
lot of disciplines, you need to be able to express yourself.
Express yourself as well. That's true.
Right?
Yeah, you need to.
So we're not saying that you must have a doctorate, although in some instances it is.
Depending.
It's a good thing.
Very much, yeah.
But the children have certain skills. They're good at soccer, good at cricket, good
Yeah.
at tennis, whatever.
Support them.
Yeah, support them.
their dreams.
Now
support
sometimes
what
they change their minds.
As they age, some of them do change to take a different path. And if they do take a different path, support them still.
Exactly. Okay. Troubling news. Two individuals, two males, were discovered in a vehicle in an area called Inglewood's Grand Riviera. To be honest with you, I don't even know what that is. I mean, I know the Grand Riviera
I know the
area,
Grand
but
Riviera,
Inglewood's, I'm not too sure
where it
exactly.
is, no.
Yeah, and I lime a lot. And if I'm not sure exactly where that
I know
is,
White Rock, but I'm not sure where Inglewood
yeah,
is.
I guess somebody will tell us a
Most
little
likely,
later.
yeah.
But apparently the two individuals, the two males, were in the vehicle. Very little detail came out. I saw some pics. Most of them were at a distance, so I couldn't really tell. And then, of course, pics of the deceased appeared on social media. The usual, well, I shouldn't say the usual, sorry. The thick gold chains and things like that.
Like actually photo?
Yeah. Mhm.
But has the police given their names and so on, or
No.
people are just
No,
assuming?
not as yet. Yeah, of course. Small country.
Okay.
Now it goes already.
Right.
But you're right. And we should take that with a grain of salt. It's not official, right? But it's a small place, and for most likely that would be the individuals. But no names have been given as yet. I'm sure before the end of the day we'll be getting names and much more detail as to exactly what happened.
But incidents like this really shake the community to its core, and it raises some serious questions about, what's happening in our society. Because we hear that all the time. Maybe we get a break, there's a lull, and something else happened again, and it's just sad, whether it's it's a gang-related activity or a personal conflict or something else. I think it's just sad, and it's very, very troubling.
So this happened yesterday about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're talking about, broad daylight. Yeah.
They found the
and it
bodies
looks
at that
like
time.
some kind of almost like a little secluded area. It looks looks that way. But no doubt these guys will probably lured to that area.
Most likely.
Boy, oh boy. Can you imagine? Again, we do not know, we don't have all the details, but I'm sure this has happened already, where you have somebody who you probably trust. And this
And you
person
go
has,
meet them somewhere.
turned against you without you even knowing, because they have to they are accountable to the boss. And if the boss tell you, call him up, tell him to come there, whatever. And imagine you're a sitting duck. You go there, you thinking that you're on a vibe, something positive, and all of a sudden fellas just come there with weapons. What you going to do at that point? You try your best to negotiate as best as you can. No.
But has there been any information out there from, individuals living in the community as to whether gunshots were heard or anything of that? Nothing?
Nothing as yet. Nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
Not even close-up shots of the actual scene. You just see the vehicle, at least so far as what I can tell. But to see the deceased lying there or anything like that, that at least maybe whoever shares with me didn't share that.
Share that information.
Yeah. So as we speak, the families, and no doubt going through a very, very rough time. You're talking about maybe parents, maybe siblings, maybe offspring, offspring as well. So they're going for a rough time.
They will be.
Yeah. Because for some people, these were probably bad people. For some. For others,
they were good people.
They were good people. That's my family. That's my father. That's my
brother, my nephew, my friend. He didn't do anything wrong. He was a good boy, and so on.
Yeah.
Crime like that doesn't just affect the families involved. It sends ripple effects within the communities. And I really do think that the police are doing their best as it relates to crime in our society. And I do think that us as a nation, we St. Lucians have been of late trying to, really come together to curb the situation, the violence in our communities. And I would say that's a plus for us.
And what we have is that in some communities cooperate a lot more with the police than others.
Yes.
Because there's some communities who will not cooperate for whatever reason. They just won't. So talking about that, the police were actually in the Fuasho area. I don't know if you're familiar, if you know where Fuasho is.
That's by Slaspo.
Oh, you.
Come on, Andre.
So you know the thing.
Yeah, that's by Slaspo.
Is Inglewood you don't know?
I know it's in Grand Riviera, but you don't know Ingles either.
I don't know. I'm sure when I see that, I say, oh, that's what that is.
I think I know where it is, but I'm just not too sure.
And it's a beautiful name, actually.
Yeah, Inglewood.
It's a beautiful name. Inglewoods. Yes, so the police, I think last week they were in the Wilton's Yard area there. Remember, they arrested quite a few people.
And someone on a wheelchair. Was it last week or the week before?
Yes, that was last week.
Okay.
And then now we have them arresting another 7 individuals from the Fuasho area. I know some people do not like that as anything else because they feel that, why are you troubling my people? These are my partners and this kind of thing. But if you're running afoul of the law, at some point you need to expect that.
Yeah. And the police are only there to do their jobs, and we have to support them.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And you made a very good point. We are supposed to be here supporting them because if you are doing unlawful things, I know for sure I am not going to encourage you in doing unlawful things.
Same here.
Okay? And if the police do their work, and I commend the police, I'm supposed to be doing that. Because the same way when the police don't do their work properly, we give them pressure.
And not only that, a lot of times we complain, oh, this is happening, and the police, they're not doing anything, they're just there, you're not seeing them on the roads, and da-da-da. And when they are, we still complain.
Yes.
What do you want?
Yes. I think
Really?
it's Inspector Matthew was making a point. He was saying in the Wilton's Yard area, he said, yes, these are the same people who call you and tell the police to come. And then when the police do arrive now, and they do what they're supposed to be doing now, the people in the community are upset with them. Yeah. So
they're just doing their job.
was it damned if I don't, damned if I do?
Damned if I don't, damned if I do.
But they have to do their work. Okay, the other thing is certain things that are illegal, right? Like the marijuana, for example, it is still an illegal substance to have a certain amount.
A certain amount,
and
yes.
people don't like to hear those things.
They don't like to hear it. Not only that, too, the police are there to protect and serve, and they're doing their job, Andre. And a lot of the times, for some individuals, not everyone, when a police officer approaches them, they angry, and their response to that police officer can be quite harsh. And we have to be mindful as well. They are there to protect and serve, and they are doing their jobs. And sometimes, let's say, for instance, a traffic stop, and you're stopped, and you're in a hurry. There's no need to speak to that police officer rudely. He's doing his job. If you have all the required documents, just, show it to him and go on your way. There's no need to be rude.
And the police will not give you any stress.
Yeah. And though there might be exceptions where police is having a bad day based on other things, you hear that as well. But still, we always need to be mindful of how we respond to them when they do come to us as well. And
the best thing is to cooperate. That's the best thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and the Inspector Matthew, again, he gave a warning to the criminals, telling them, listen, you're going to be caught. You're going to be caught.
There's no safe place, pretty much.
Yes. Now, the Ministry of Education, they're working on renovations to school plants across the country.
Oh, great.
And one of the things that they want to do is to make the structures more climate resilient. Because, right now we have climate change and all kinds of things are happening. So they want to ensure that the buildings now are able to withstand.
Right.
Now, talking about that, now, climate change, I know climate change does not include earthquakes. Okay? Earthquake is a separate matter. And in fact, you cannot predict an earthquake. Okay, you can't predict it. So when it's happening, right? Then you know it's happening. No doubt, as time goes by, I'm sure scientists will develop methods, means. Because science is a great thing.
Yes.
Because
yes,
this morning I didn't read it on the air, that scientists have now produced teeth, real teeth.
I read that some time ago.
I'll get all the details. Maybe a little later today, get more details. But I think they planted the teeth in mice. Is it mice or pigs? I don't remember.
Most likely pigs.
But they actually produced that thing in a lab. That is amazing.
In China?
That's in England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's in England. That is truly amazing. So that now will mean that people don't no longer need to have dentures and caps and things like that. But I'm sure it's going to be expensive, at least in the interim.
Most likely,
sure.
Likely, yeah.
But as always, these things come on and then they're super expensive. After a while, the prices go down. Because scientists keep improving on those things. I remember long ago when what was it again? Look, I'm forgetting the name of that thing. If you want to watch a movie, I'm forgetting the name of the piece of equipment. You get this cassette type thing. Right,
the DVD player.
Right, it wasn't DVD in those days. It was something else, and you push this thing into the piece of equipment. I bought one. That's a long time ago.
What's it called again?
When that first came on the scene, and I remember when as well flat screen TVs.
No, not a VCR.
I think VCR. It could be VCR.
I'm not sure.
Could be VCR. It could be VCR. I remember when these things first came on the scene, they were expensive. They were super expensive. When flat screens first came, flat screens used to cost up to $24,000 EC dollars.
They were really expensive.
They were really expensive. Now
Laptops,
today,
the same thing. Computers, the same thing as well. Phones.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And now you can get these things at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
Because again, science keeps improving those things. Look today, I think Katy Perry is part of a team.
Katy Perry,
going up.
Gail King.
Gail King is involved in that as
all
well.
Women,
going to take a line up in space there, right?
Seven of them.
If I'm not mistaken, I think to go up there costs about $200,000 US dollars. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Now, 10, 20, 30 years, another generation from now, it'll be like buying a plane ticket and going to space.
And just going to space,
Yeah, going to take a line.
I think Virgin Atlantic has been, over the last maybe the last 2 years or so, setting things up so, individuals can actually go to space. So
I remember, so eventually those teeth, I may not be around for that time. I'm going to be,
might be surprised.
Reasonably
you might still be
priced.
Around.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, you
I
might
hope
still
so.
be around.
These are exciting times to be alive. Really excited. Yeah. So Friday night I left Dax. I left there. Let's around finished playing around midnight. Left there about 10 past midnight. When I got home, I was changing my clothes, and all of a sudden I just heard this sound, this powerful sound, just for like maybe a second, right? And I just felt this power. I said, but what was that? I thought maybe a vehicle had hit my wall or something. I went outside to check to see. I said, but what's going on? So I'm hearing now it was actually a tremor or an earthquake. It was really powerful.
But I haven't seen any. I've been seeing the comments, people commenting on it on social media, but I haven't seen anything from the seismic.
No, they haven't said anything. It was like
today
just
is
like
Monday.
For a second.
Usually it's out within hours or so, and nothing has been out yet. I actually have an earthquake app on my phone because you can download it, and it gives you a list of earthquakes within, everywhere in the world. The moment it happens, it updates it. And I did do a search for St. Lucia. What it did show was that individuals were saying that a tremor or something was felt, but there's nothing recorded. So what did happen?
Yeah, well,
because that was not recorded on that app.
Okay, well, as I said, I felt it. Whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people felt it.
But it lasted about 1 second.
A lot of people felt it.
Just this jolt. Okay, I actually went outside to check. I thought maybe somebody hit my wall or something.
A
That's
lot
what
of
I
people
thought.
are saying either they felt like something hit their home, or
Yeah.
they felt a shaking, and some other person thought that was something that happened with another company again, another explosion somewhere. There's so many comments on it on social media, but I'm not seeing anything from Trinidad saying that anything was recorded. So I'm not sure what happened.
Okay.
It did happen because it
Something
was felt
happened.
around St.
Yeah,
Lucia.
something
Happened, but we don't know what it is.
So I'm bringing this up because since they're talking about making the school plants climate resilient, that I hope would include earthquakes and this
Yes.
sort of thing, because this is the reality. This is the reality.
is.
When you
It
think
is.
of those countries who are way advanced than we are, and you see the devastation that is wrought
Yeah.
as a result of an earthquake, we need to wake up.
We need to.
We really need to wake up.
A lot of our homes are not prepared.
No, we just not.
Our
Just
homes,
not.
our buildings, our structures are not. No.
Yeah, it's until something untoward happens, then you see we're going to be trying
Yeah.
to take action. But that time there is going to be a little too late. I remember many years ago when we had a very powerful earthquake here. It lasted probably maybe a good 30 seconds, somewhere around there, and it shook and shook and shook. I remember I was scared, man. I was scared. My grandmother was still alive, and I think maybe she had never experienced something like that. She actually got up from the bed and she sat up because I think she realized it was really serious, and things were just haywire, right? Nothing was working. You couldn't make a call. Nothing. It was just crazy for
What
a
year
while.
was this? Early 2000?
Could be. I don't remember exactly when, but all I know is that we were just not prepared for that.
We don't prepare at all for an earthquake.
Okay.
And I'm happy that the Ministry of Education is at least trying to, as it relates to climate change and making sure that the schools are ready.
Yeah. All right. So, the whole thing about the CIP programs and so on, highly controversial. And, it's usually more so the opposition. And when I say opposition, I'm not talking only about St. Lucia. I find generally around the Caribbean, the people making the most noise about it is the opposition.
Yeah.
Generally. Okay? I was saying to Spider-Man Toot when he was here last week, I said to him, all the issues that you're bringing up, do you sense like our people have a problem with those things? And he said no, they don't seem to, but certain things they need to. So the opposition tends to zero in on certain things, and CIP is one of them. They're asking for answers, they're asking for explanations, and from what they're saying, these are not forthcoming. Now, as I said to Spider, I remember when the current government was in opposition, they were saying the same thing
about
that they are asking questions, and the government of the day at that time was not really responding. It's the same complaint. So I don't know, what can we do as a people about that to ensure that when questions are being asked, that those in authority understand you have to provide answers.
Providing answers is very, very important. And I think a lot of the times I'm not quite sure why they don't, why the information is not forthcoming. But it's important for us as a people to know what's going on in our country, especially as it relates to the sale of our passports, whether it be the opposition chiming in or the ruling party. It's important that we know what's happening in our country to allow us to make more informed decisions. Do not keep it away from us.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they don't respond simply because the opposition are the ones making the most noise. So they feel either one of two things. The fact that it's you, I will not respond. Also, the fact that when they were in opposition, that they were treated like that way. So they give you a taste of your own medicine.
Yeah, most likely that's what's happening. But in some cases, I do think that whether it be the now opposition or the ruling party, they did give information as it relates to that program. Whether St. Lucians, some know what it is entirely. A lot of times we do not do research. There is that, I'm looking for the word. The Gazette. Information is always there, and we could go and get it. And a lot of times we don't. Sometimes we hear it on a political platform or we hear it on a show. But everything that we need to know, apart from watching house sittings, you could get that information. But
the thing is, the opposition is asking specifically concerning the CIP program, about files or passports, number of passports sold by this company called Galaxy, right? And they're saying, well, the hotel development is supposed to cost, say it's $50 million, right? $50 million for that development. And the opposition is saying that passports to the tune of, I think, either close to or 1 billion US dollars. That's what they're saying. Folks, I just tell you what the opposition is saying. Right. So they said, okay, so if the project costs 50 million and you sold so many passports amounting to $1 billion, where's the $600 million? Where is it? That's what they're asking. And they said that the incumbent refuses to answer that question. So they're running with that thing like there's something untoward taking place there. So, yeah, go ahead.
They've been asking for that information for months now.
That's right, been a while.
I won't be surprised if later on, just closer to elections, that information is given.
Yeah.
I won't be too surprised.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, it's a very good question. If that's the case, and I'm sure
if they have all the facts, the evidence, and so on, and they're bringing it out and they're asking, I don't see why not that information cannot be provided. Maybe there's a reason they haven't provided the information. I do not know, but I'm thinking maybe closer to the elections, that information will be provided.
So, as I'm saying, things should be set up in such a way that people who are in government are compelled.
I can't be wrong, but I don't know.
Compelled. You are compelled by the law, right, to give out certain types of information. Whether it's the opposition asking for it or civil society, you have to give it. You can't decide now because you feel I'm giving you a taste of your own medicine kind of thing. That's one of the reasons.
That happens a lot with the politicians. I'm giving you a taste of your own medicine. But beyond that, it's the people. So if a politician is saying, you know what, I want that information, whether you see it as, you know what, they're attacking me personally, if you know there's nothing wrong that's happening, just put the information out there. It will just solve the issue and carry on.
Right. So I'm saying, moving forward, what they should be doing is introducing laws, if you will, that would ensure that you are accountable. That
Don't we have already?
No, obviously, because if there were laws governing those things, it wouldn't be happening.
I'm sure they do.
Administration,
Maybe the justice system is just messed up.
The opposition would be citing those laws and saying, but the law says blah 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 blah. That's what the law says. They haven't really done that.
They haven't.
They should. Except when it comes to, I think, submitting a report. I think there's some reports about a CIP report, right? And even that, it's my understanding that's what they're saying. The incumbent had failed to deliver on that report. I think for about either a year or two past the due date. Things like that, right? So that shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening, whether it's the opposition or the current administration. It shouldn't be happening.
I think when you're in office and they should be held accountable. They need to be held accountable, because put it this way, right? I'm working, you working, we're working at an establishment, and if something were to happen, we'll be fired instantly. We are held accountable. So why is it that when you are in public office, you find all the loopholes to get away from it, to get out of it, right? You lawyer up and all of that kind of thing and so on, and you hide behind whatever it is that you could hide behind so you don't face the consequences of it. We need to really ask our politicians, our public officials, to account for things, and when they don't, then there are consequences.
But when the opposition does it, they don't respond.
You see, again, you just said that there are no laws. So if there are no laws, if you now win the election, when you get there, put it in. Ensure that it's done.
But that's what I was saying a while ago. I'm saying moving forward now,
yes,
they need to establish these boundaries, these parameters. Here's how we're supposed to operate. Because when I know for the incumbent, they might feel as though, listen, we know we're not doing anything untoward. We'll have nothing answering.
We have nothing, right.
But I'm telling you, you say something often enough, people are going to believe it. You need to. It's a feeling that we have here in St. Lucia. When the United Workers' Party was in office, the number of things that were being said about them, whether personally,
and
individually, as a group, listen, this was going, and they said nothing. They ignored everything.
A lot of the times, Andre, we think, you know what, it's not true, so I'm going to ignore it.
Exactly.
It's just going to die.
Or people
it's just going
supposed
to fade
to
away.
know,
The people
that's not
supposed to
true.
know better. Those
Yeah.
who know me, and they know I will not do this, and you just carry on, because why do I have to defend myself knowing that I didn't do that? But it carries on. And then the story changes along the way. And that's something that is weighing over your head. A lot of the times you hear things about politicians and you wonder what. But I mean, as of now, when I hear things, it's like, okay, I've heard this so many times, but there's no evidence of it, so whatever.
So they're going to be meeting in Antigua from the 22nd to the 26th to take a look at the CIP program, especially now that you have questions coming from Europe, questions from the United States. So now you see, it's one thing you can ignore your own people. When you hear the European Union, United States now asking questions, hey, they're taking up and they're taking notice.
Yeah.
So now they're going to be meeting to address those issues. However, despite all the issues that the CIP program has, it's doing a lot of good.
So that it does.
It's doing a lot of good.
Does.
I know in St. Lucia monies are being used for good purposes and so on. I think I read some time ago in Antigua it was being used to pay off debt.
Yeah.
Right? That's another one again. Dominica
together.
being used to build houses for the poor and so on. So it's something that's a good thing. But it's also open to hanky-panky.
Yeah.
You understand?
It is.
Right.
It is.
Lemon kawe go l'argent.
And when you're selling our passports as well, you really do not know who you're selling it to. If you do not really do the checks and balances the right way.
Yes.
So you really do not know.
I want you to spare thought. Folks, you and Kina and everybody, spare thought for Haiti. We keep forgetting them. Haiti is going for a real rough time. In fact, they've been going for a rough time
humanitarian crisis,
for a long time. Long time. Now, there's a person I was talking to recently. He told me he visited Haiti a few months ago, and he said the situation, he saw it for himself. The situation is really bad. It's really bad. He said he's not going back there. Okay, at least until the situation actually changes.
Right.
But he was telling me that Haiti is a place of a lot of what's the word I'm looking for?
Poverty?
Not poverty. When contradictions, where you have a certain class of people there who are the elite, and they're doing super well.
Yes, you hear that a lot.
Yeah, they're doing super well. And you have the other side now. We have a lot of poverty. As we speak, 30,000 plus people have been displaced. That means, folks, displaced means I live in La Claire, and because of gang violence or whatever the case may be, I have to now leave La Claire to go and live someplace in Vieux-Fort. Okay?
Yeah.
For my own protection. 30,000. And no doubt you have a lot of children involved in that as well. Okay? Right, that's that one. They also have a problem with cholera as well. Right? 1,300 cases of cholera. 19 deaths so far.
And it's only going to spread.
Yeah, and cholera is something, it causes diarrhea. So you constantly go in and you have to go kind of thing. So this is serious.
It is.
Let me tell you something. I remember one night I ate some papi show. I remember what it was. When I got home, I had one diarrhea. Let me tell you, I went to that restroom there probably about a good 10 times or more.
What?
And in quick succession, you go and you figure you're all right. You figure you're all right. There's no grumbling.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on. So you go back.
And you go back again.
And next time as soon as you get on my case, back on my bed. I know alcohol. When I get back, I know alcohol. Let me tell you, after a while, Oje,
You're tired. You've gone so many times.
You're tired. You're weak, and guess what? You have no strength anymore. You have no strength. You have no strength anymore. All the strength is gone.
Andre,
That
your
strength is
facial
gone.
expression is killing me right
Yeah,
now.
you. When the ladies are having babies, they tell the ladies push.
And they're like, no, I can't anymore. Oh boy.
Nothing was coming out anymore. I tell you, it's just water coming out. It was bad. Now imagine you're going through that for days.
Yeah.
That's cholera, folks. That's
Yeah.
cholera. That's serious.
And it could cause death as well.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. But 19 deaths so far. So folks, please spare thought for Haiti. Okay. Spare thought also. I know you'll hear me talk about it all the time. Spare thought for the people in Gaza.
Yeah.
They're going through a rough time. The last 18 months, the people have been bombarded by God's people. Yeah, right. You heard me right. God's people. That's what you all call them, right? You accept that as though this is true. But I said it already, and I want anybody to come and tackle me.
I really hope
let
it
me
ends.
let me defend that. Let me defend that. When they talk about this is God's people, this is crap, pure crap, nonsense. And people like Trump buy into that already. Biden bought into that thing because you have these fellas there, these evangelists who are telling them Israel is God's special people are foolish, pappy nonsense. So because it's God's people now, they can do what they want to people. Lie through their teeth. Right? You're telling me you're just killing people in the place that you're because you say you're looking for Hamas, and now we know they're lying for sure because hear what they
what
said
happened with
recently
the
there.
medical
You can't
team.
anything to justify killing those people. That's what Trump meant when he said hell is going to break loose. So right now they are bombing the last. Hear that, folks? The last functioning hospital, Bonji, that was bombed yesterday, Monsieur.
Oh my goodness!
It was
No
bombed.
way.
Imagine I saw the
No
video.
way.
The sort of you see people taking the people their family on the beds, the hospital beds, and having to push them outside.
That's painful.
Terrible.
Just
And
hearing about it.
it's been condemned by a whole bunch of
heartbreaking.
organizations. This is a war crime. They say, oh, Hamas operating inside there. So because Hamas operating inside there, you're going to just bomb the place just like that. So folks,
That should not
spare thought
happen.
for those people. These people are going for a rough time. And the international community is doing nothing. President Trump is supporting what's going on there. It's shameful. You have Canada saying nothing. You have Europe saying nothing. The United Kingdom, our supposed friends, the United Kingdom watching all this slaughter taking place, and they say nothing. Tato. One day.
Hopefully soon, that war.
It can
is
only
gonna
end
stop.
if the
It's going to
superpowers
end.
tell Israel, stop what you're
I
doing
think
there.
they will. At some point in time, they will.
But they're providing the weapons for them.
I think
They're
they
actually
will.
giving them the weapons. So they want it to continue under the guise that Israel has to defend itself from Hamas. Give me a break. Hamas is not even an army. Hamas is a bunch of renegade fellas that just get, but what you want them to do? You have them, you take the people's land, you thief their land. Hey, you can say what they want about God's favorite people. You all thief the people's land. It's recognized by the United Nations. What in the West Bank and so on that belongs to the people. You take the people's no. You stole the people's land, and now to keep them under suppression that they do not rise up now, you have them under embargo. Okay, for how many years? Since 1940 something, where they drove the people out. Wickedness on the part of those people,
it is.
and I will never support that. Sorry. I know Tony used to get the brunt of it. Now you, poor job you. But I hate to have foolishness, pure foolishness. Even if they're God's special people, so what? And they're doing evil, you have to condemn it.
No, that is definitely a war crime, and something has to be done about it, and the international community should.
By the way,
say something about
I
it.
saw a partner, a black brother who's obviously a sellout. The black brother came there on a Piers Morgan show and saying he is Donald Trump's spiritual guide or spiritual teacher, whatever he is. A black brother is the one. And I was watching me say, but listen to this guy. He's there supporting all what's going on there in Israel, saying the same foolishness is God's special people kind of crap, talking nonsense, right? Oh, he went to... I saw pictures of the man in Ukraine. They're telling Trump to give the people more weapons. As a pastor, talking like that.
That's a lot to digest, actually. It's a lot to take in.
A pastor, you telling me you there march passing, you there passing by weapons, and you're encouraging the US to send more weapons in Ukraine for more war. A black brother, I said, going well now, come
It's how you say
and
that.
he feeling proud, you could see he feeling, I'm Donald Trump's spiritual advisor. Is Donald Trump's spiritual advisor. I said, look at Mitt Gasser. There are some fellas there trying to debate Mitt. I said, I wish it was Mitt I was there.
What would you have told him, though, Andre? What would
I'll
you have
tell him the
told him?
facts. I'll tell him the facts. Oh yeah. I'll tell him go back at that, and I'll give him scripture to support what
To
I'm
support
saying.
what you're saying and the scripture you.
If it's not ready, I said, look at Mitt. You know what Trump did. You know
What
he did.
did he do?
Mitt just miserable. Mitt is a miserable man. I think Mitt probably doesn't sleep at all. Mitt don't sleep at all.
sleeps.
I don't think that guy sleeps
sleeps.
because he's probably up all night. Who can I screw today? Yeah, whose life can I make? Whose life can I make
I doubt
miserable
it.
today?
I
You doubt it?
I think, and we don't really think about it, but let's just think about it right now. Just a thought, right? Everything that Donald Trump said that he would do, he did when he came into office.
No,
Everything.
no.
Yeah. Whatever he said he would do when he came into office, he started doing it. That's one thing about Donald
Did he
Trump.
say-
And I think, did he say what?
Did he say he was going to remove Barack Obama's portrait? Did he say that?
I don't know about that.
No, he didn't say that.
Did he remove Barack
He
Obama?
removed it and he put his there.
He's the president.
No, but he's not supposed to do that. It's
But
a
I'm just-
custom.
I'm just
It's a
saying.
custom after your turn, that now they put your portrait there alongside other people or whatever the case may be. So Barack Obama's portrait is there. He removed it, placed it some other place, and he put his portrait where I think where they shot him, right? And he's there saying the thing,
Oh.
fight.
Trump is Trump.
No,
And Trump will be Trump.
we're saying that as though like that's, we have to get accustomed to that. No. And by the way, just going back to Gaza for a minute, I also want to remind our people and say, spare a thought. These people have not been, Israel have blocked the people from getting any medicine, any
Right.
food, any water, any electricity for over a month.
That's hard to digest.
That's right.
That's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in.
You know, I've heard about these narcissists, and you see Mid there? Mid's a narcissist on
But you know, we're
steroids.
so quick to call people narcissists.
But that's what he is.
We're
That's
very, very quick.
you know,
to just
listen,
put
one
that
of
word
the
out there.
definitions of
Every
a
little thing, narcissist.
hold on. One of the definitions of a
I think we all
narcissist.
are narcissists.
Tale,
in our
one
own
of the
way.
definitions of a narcissist is somebody who doesn't feel any compassion for anybody. That's a terrible place to be, I can tell you that. And if you're saying you're like that, because you say
No. In certain little hints, certain things, not the subtle things. There's subtle things.
Well,
not the nah.
Trump is no subtle. I tell you, he's a narcissist on steroids. I'm sorry for people who have relationships with people like that. You're in serious trouble. So imagine you have power. Yeah, power. So what you can do with that thing there? Gosh, man, the man removed Barack Obama's portrait. He removed it and put his inside there. Actually, he was thinking, what can I do today to spoil somebody's day?
What can I do today to make myself feel great?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what
I
he's
tell you, that's a narcissist on steroids. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I get carried away. I hope
You
so.
on X, eh?
I hope
Remember
so.
that. You know, you no longer on Facebook alone. You are now on YouTube. You're on Elon Musk's X.
They'll there's a word, demonetize.
Demonetize?
They'll demonetize. They'll demonetize. Me.
No, Trump is on Truth Social. Truth Social is on X. Look at them.
Okay, let's Truth Social.
When Trump comes and says, who is Andre Paul?
How Missy could call his thing Truth Social when he, in 4 years, according to the Washington Post, not Andre Paul, the Washington Post, highly respected newspaper or whatever it is that they have, magazine or
Truth
whatever.
Social.
He told over 30,000 lies. They count each and every. And you want to call your platform Truth Social?
You're so bad.
Kotea.
The man is putting out what he considers the truth.
You know, Isaiah 58:1 says, "Raise up your voice, spare not, show my people." That's their wrongs. That's what it says.
Yes,
so
that's
when
what
we
it
see
says,
them
yes.
things taking place,
You
we
have to.
should not keep quiet and speak up. Speak up. Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're doing.
That responsibility that we're supposed to do, because when you see the Most High comes on the day of judgment and he asks you, what did you say? What did you do when all that was taking place there? Oh, you say, Father, sorry. I know not what I
stayed
did.
Silent.
Yeah, I know not what I did. Yeah. Okay.
Well, Andre, at least you'd say I spoke up.
Oh yeah, at least I can say that. At least I have
did,
something.
Father.
At least
did.
something I say, Lord. Well, I know I was a bad boy, Lord, but at least Moji.
And he said, what about the other things that he was supposed
That's
to
what I'm telling you.
have
That's why I know I'm a bad boy. So,
done? Okay.
I say, Father, take that into consideration.
No, he won't, because you have so many that you had to follow.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's true.
You followed just one.
Yeah, but at least I did one. They have like
Yeah.
doing zero.
That's true. That's true too. But we should also always follow everything and try our best at
Mhm.
least. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So let's go to the shout outs.
So the shout out, what should we do first? Facebook or WhatsApp?
Well, it's your thing.
That's my thing.
Yeah, just in case you didn't know, folks, we're on Facebook. We're also on YouTube. So right now we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live on X. Mm-hmm.
1 second.
Well, while you're looking for it, let me just let our listeners and viewers know, if you want to get us on YouTube, just go to youtube.com/. It's a little work, I must admit. That's a little work.
Or just say, search Rev-Up Lucia. It will pop up.
Well, Masaba.
Rev-Up, REVUP SLU.
So you sure of that?
Yeah.
You sure of that?
I did it on Twitter and it worked.
Okay. So what's it? What did you say?
Rev-Up St. Lucia.
Mm.
REV
And that's on YouTube, right?
UPSLU. Yeah.
So what's this thing? So-
Well, that's the website and the link that you're saying. But if you were to go on
Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. let me give the thing as it is.
Give
Okay.
it. Give it as it
So
is.
it's youtube.com / at Rev REV a little hyphen UPSLU. Try to remember that. I'll continue to give it. Also on X, just go to x.com / Rev-Up SLU.
Perfect.
Yeah. So as time goes by, I'll be repeating this
You'll
thing.
be
So
repeating
eventually
the
we'll,
same
we'll
thing.
we'll get it eventually.
Okay.
Mhm.
Good. It's how you say that. Okay, so we're back on Facebook. The first person to chime in this morning was Sharon Peter, and she says, Monday we meet again. Good morning, Rev-Up family. Good morning, Sharon.
Morning,
Peter. Good
Sharon.
morning,
I wonder
good
if Sharon's still in St. Lucia.
morning. Most likely she is.
Mm.
She also says, good morning, JP. JP Mahal says, good morning, Sharon, Cherry. Shewi, sorry. Pearl Food Baby Henry says, good morning and happy new week to those in the chat room and the Rev-Up St. Lucia family. Hi, Pearl. Much love.
Much love, Paul.
Septima Joseph says, good morning to all listening to Rev-Up. Good morning, Septima. Sharon Peter responded to someone and she says, Ça va, mon ami? So she responded. Zai's Witness says, you could tell Andre is the old school master. All he has to say is type Rev-Up SLU on social media platforms and the page will pop up.
Masama? I don't know. I'm just giving it
That's what I said. I just told you on the page, type Rev-Up SLU and the page will pop up. That's all you have to say. You don't have to say all of what you
Well,
just
I
said.
was very careful. I said, Fire, what do I do? What do I say? And he gave me the address. So I'm going according to what Fire gave me.
Okay, Fire. Well,
Right.
Fire, tell him the other winner, man.
Shortcut. Shortcut.
Lilia Victor says, good morning, everyone. Blessed week to all. Good morning, Lilia. Elvin J. Team Worker says, blessed Monday to all. Good morning, Evelyn. Barbara Xavier says, a blessed holy week to all of you. Have a lovely day. Blessed love. Good morning, Barbara. Martha James says, Monday love. Blessings to everyone. Amen. Janelle McQueen says, LOL, yeah, different generation, so that's expected. She was responding to the question. She was responding to what Zaya says. You could tell Andre is the old school master. So she
Okay.
was saying,
All right.
LOL, yeah, different generation, so that's expected. Martha's Shop says, amazing day, Mr. Andre and lovely Kina. Bonjour, bonjour. Fantastic day to everyone. Peace and love. Good morning, Martha's Shop. Sending you love. Kisses. Mwah. Pearl Food Baby Henry says, Andre, I agree with you on the pics.
That's true.
With some laughing emojis. Barbara Augustine came back and she chimed in and says, my favorite people, good morning and hello, Mr. Tony Paul and all in the chat room. Hi, Shed Alive. Good morning, Barbara. Sending you love. Kisses. Mwah. Joan Shallery says, good morning, Andre, Kina, on everyone listening. She sends hearts and she sends kisses as well. Right back at you, Joan. Mwah. Zai Witness says, or the man gets the stroke, or if the man gets a stroke. Right, that was earlier
Yes.
today.
What did he say?
If the man gets a stroke. That was when you were referring about the age difference and so.
All
That's
kinds
all
of,
she said.
All kinds of scenarios.
Yeah.
All kinds.
So she was chiming in
Accident,
and
a
adding, yes,
stroke,
yeah.
heart attack,
Yeah.
whatever, and you're incapacitated. Or an accident, right? Accident is a big one.
Yes, that's a big one. Janelle McQueen says, Kina, I strongly believe you are capping. There's no way a 25-year-old in the prime of life, you would not have those sexual needs and not want them to feel like don't. Well, that's you, Janella. We are all different. And respect my opinion, I respect yours. End of story. Moving on. Patricia Benjamin says, morning, Rev-Up family. Have a great day. Leonard Green says, blessed morning to all. Good morning, Leonard. Pearl Food Baby Henry returned and says, Inglewoods is the gap after the Gaza Gap if you're coming from
there.
Dame Pullet.
Ah, okay. I know it. I know it is.
After
I know it
coming
is.
from Dame Pullet. The Gaza is on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Inglewood. I don't know. I'm confused. Lucita Jean-Pierre says, good morning, Andre and beautiful Keen, and not forgetting Jerome, Motivation Monday to all. Share a link, everyone. Bonjour. Pious Snappy Yeman says, good morning. Oh, Janella McQueen responded, and she said, VHS or VCR. Thank
Yes.
you so much, Janelle McQueen.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank
Mwah.
you.
Eva Hippolyte says, 29th of November 2007. I think she was referring to the earthquake. So she gave a date and a year. Sheechub
Oh,
says,
okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Sheechub also chimed in and said, I think it was around 2006. So thank you for that. Peacemaker says, good morning, Andre Paul, Tony Paul, and my sister with a special laugh. Blessings to all. Good morning, Peacemaker. Kisses right back. Mwah. Lucita Jap, and he also went on to say, good morning, Lucita Japierre. How are you, my dear? Blessings to you, my love. Gather Springer says, hi, Rev-Up. The best thing you did was to get YouTube. Now I can get you directly on the television, sitting in my living room, and can now have the freedom on my phone for others. Business. Good days, guys. Faithful listeners. Andre, sometimes I beg to disagree, but fight by myself. One second. I beg to disagree, but fight by myself. Keep up the good work. Big up to the staff.
Okay, I don't quite get it.
You'd like me to read it again?
I heard, but I don't quite understand what the person
Maybe
saying.
something that you said she was
okay.
chiming in.
Yeah.
Madeline Alexander.
So if you as you said there, you just type Rev-Up SLU and it pops up. Hey, wonderful.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
it's easier.
Yeah, there's all that information I'm
X,
giving there.
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Rev-Up a few people are telling me they just type Rev-Up SLU and it pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, wonderful.
Up to the time.
Fire. Fire.
No, Fire sent you the link. You wanted to read all of... Well, that's what many of us did back in the day. Like, that's more than 10 years ago, though.
So what's happening for X now?
The same thing. Just type
Just
Rev-Up.
type Rev-Up SLU
yeah,
and that's it.
Rev-Up
Are we
SLU
good?
and you're good. I
all
told
right.
you I did it earlier and it worked.
Okay, all right then.
Try,
Very
Andre.
well. I don't even know where X is.
Do you have the app on your phone?
No, I don't.
Do you have YouTube on your phone?
Yes, I do.
Well, try, as I'm reading, try Rev-Up SLU.
Okay.
You'll get it. Madeline Alexander says, blessed Monday to everyone. Trust that you had a nice and safe weekend. Good morning, Madeline. Thank you for that. And she went on to say, my heart goes out to Haiti. It's heartbreaking hearing what's going on with them and all others in other parts of the world.
Thank you very much,
Unbelievable.
Madeline. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Green says, Leonid Green says, blessed morning to all. Peacemaker chimed in again and says, amen, my brother. We can't support that, period. Bravo. What were you were saying earlier? Val Monroe says, we received felt reports for an earthquake at 12:23 on the 12/4 of 2025. It did not meet the threshold for posting to our socials, magnitude 3.5 and above, before or after processing. See earthquake parameters below. The date and the time is there. And thanks for that information, Val. Thank you so much. Peacemaker also went on to say, he chimed in again. Well, sorry, I'm not quite sure if it's a he or a she, so my apologies. I take that back. Peacemaker says he is another criminal because he had to go to jail. He is bombing the Gaza to avoid jail time. And when the individual also said, England should be saying something. And amen, no comparisons at all to what you were saying about what's happening in Gaza, Andre. No worries, my brother. Every dog have his own day.
Thank you very much for saying that. It's true. Because these people are powerful people.
Yes, they are.
England, America, Canada, Europe, and they say nothing, nothing. The people have been slaughtered there. They're just watching, saying nothing.
So he also chimed in. Sorry, I'm saying he. I'm not sure who it is. So Peacemaker, my apologies. The individual said, Z, I agree with you because we in the same bracket. Nancy Graceland says, Andre, you have to admit that Trump is putting America first, unlike our president. You know who. Peacemaker chimed in again and said, I thought you were a quiet guy. I'm smiling. Janelle McGowan says, everything you complain about Trump doing, he said he would be doing, and that's why the people voted him. Andre, you need to take a chill pill.
Yeah, but what about, did he say he would allow people in Gaza to starve to death? Did he say that?
No.
Did he say he was
But
going to
he's
fight?
not the one allowing people in Gaza to starve
Yes,
to
he
death.
is. He is the one. He's the one. That's right. He's supporting what they're doing there. Okay? He said all hell is going to break loose. Did he say that before? No, he didn't say that. Did he say he's going to fire all these people? Hundreds of thousands of people are going to lose their jobs. He didn't say that.
Madeline Alexander says, shout out to my neighbor, Jean Cassius, who's listening right now. Hi, Jean Cassius. Good morning to you. Kisses. Mwah. Peacemaker chimed in again, says, listen to the love. Laugh. And also said, that's what I have rev up. I'm revving up Andre. Sales Rub or Fiction says, good morning, Andre, Kina, and Tony. Blessed week to everyone. Love you all. Agatha Springer, hi, Sales. Love, love, love. Kisses. Mwah. Hope you got them. Okay, Agatha Springer says, Andre, oh my God, it's jumping. Andre, just wanted to say, I do not always agree with what you say, with what you are saying, so I beg to disagree. Peacemaker says, oh, I'm a woman, my darling, a lady. Sorry, I did apologize. So thank you for letting me know that you're a woman. Siobhan Matthew says, greetings and happy Holy Week. And Clara Sammy, the last one to chime in on Facebook. Oh, Bridget Charles Hicks says, okay, Clara Sammy just chimed in and she said, one second. What's happening? She says, good morning to all Rev-Up family. Have a wonderful Monday. And Bridget Charles Hicks says, stop talking about my president.
Yeah, 30,000 plus lies. Yeah, that's cool.
I enjoy.
But it's true. It's true. It is what it is. Yeah.
On the WhatsApp platform, we're now on the WhatsApp platform. Someone chimed in, says, good morning, Mr. Paul. I'll be coming there this morning. Please do not leave the studio.
Okay, is that an order?
Good morning, Mr. Paul. I'll be coming there this morning. Please do not leave the studio.
Okay.
I think that's an order, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll hang around for as long as I can.
Okay. That was a missed call. Let me just double check. A missed call. Yeah. Josianne. Good morning, Josianne. How are you? She says, good morning, River family. Happy Holy Week to all. Someone else chimed in, says, good morning, Mr. Paul, Tony, and Kina. Blessed and productive week to you guys. That's Julita.
Okay, Julita. Nice to hear from you. Yeah. I'm so happy now that I can just say Rev-Up SLU.
Did you find it?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
Yeah,
see,
this is a long
and you were
story.
like, shh.
This is a long story.
Like, don't say anything like you're my mom or my dad. Shh. I'm the adult here. I'm in control. Shh. You know, I have ones. The young ones know something, you know?
Yes. I agree. I submit. Yes.
But it's good that you found it. I'm so proud of you. Anyways, Sunshine is in the building. She's on WhatsApp. Good morning, Sunshine. How you doing? She says, good morning.
So the same applies to Facebook, right? Same thing?
Same applies,
Same
but there
thing?
are 2 pages on Facebook. So if you happen to find the friendship, there's the personal page and the business page.
Mhm.
If you happen to find the personal page and you go on there, just scroll down, you'll get the business page. It's not that far. Okay.
Alrighty, all right.
Sunshine chimed in and she says, good morning to Andre, Paul, Kiki, and the River family. Have a special day.
You as well.
Good morning, Sunshine. Nicholas Showery is in the building, and he says, rev up my brother and sister from another mother. Bless Monday to the 2 of you. I'm in the house. Tell Andre I met Yaslin on Saturday. She remembered me and gave me a big shout out. I'm still working on business.
Me addressing that partner?
Oi,
Me addressing that too?
I don't know. Well, he's at least he's telling you.
No, he should be talking to you,
He
not
didn't
me.
say Kina.
Not me.
He said,
I'm saying he should be talking to you, not me.
okay, what do you want me to say now? Thank you, Nicholas. That's the only thing I can
Yeah,
say.
telling me,
Thanks for letting me know.
telling me you waiting for the thing up to now, the bouillon.
You know I'm not waiting for it anymore. I'm not
You
waiting
give
for
up.
bouillon.
I don't
fish
blame you.
eggs or
I don't blame you.
anything.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't blame
I
you.
was never really waiting
I
for it
agree.
anyways.
I agree. Nikki's a Nikki, your check.
I don't think he
your
is.
check-
People have a tendency to say, okay, you know what, I'll get that. And sometimes they have a busy schedule and they don't.
Yeah.
So that could be a reason.
Well,
Anyways, I was not really waiting on it.
The
so.
man check bounce, man. check bounce.
Okay. Someone chimed in and says Inglewood is the gap on the right between Montsepa and Degazo gaps going downhill.
I know the gap that
I
they're
think I
talking
know
about.
where it is. Yeah, I think I know where it is now. Someone else says it was like a blast. Okay. It was like a blast. Good day to the Rev-Up crew, TP, Kina, and Andre. You'll have a blessed, wonderful day and blessed love.
And talking about TP, I think we can say so right now. I think there have been many requests, if you
Yes,
will,
for him
for TP to return.
To return, yeah.
So I got some good news for you all.
Yeah.
TP is going to be returning.
That's
all right?
amazing. That's
He's
amazing.
going to be returning.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I love
so-
to hear that.
So we discussed it.
Yeah.
And said, you know something? And,
Yeah.
he humbly agreed
Okay,
to make
that's
his
good.
return. So most likely next week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, most
That's
likely
good.
next week.
Somebody else chimed in and says, Good day, Kina and Andre. I've heard persons saying about feeling so many tremors. Surprisingly, I haven't felt any, but I've heard Nemo posted and said, I haven't heard Nemo posted or said anything about those tremors. Wonder if those were tremors for true or something else.
I don't know.
I'm not
I
sure.
felt something
A lot
Friday
of
night.
people felt something.
Mhm.
I'm not quite sure what it is. Somebody actually responded and says, Morning all, the Seismic Center in Trinidad released a report. It said that the strength of the tremor was not strong enough to be recorded on the system. It records tremors 3.5 and up. They said Saturday's tremor was 2.8.
So there was a tremor.
There was a tremor. So it wasn't strong enough. It was
Mhm.
2.8.
And it lasted probably about a second.
Yeah. So, okay. Thank you so much. And they shared that information, the link. So I guess if anybody wants to get that information, they can go to the UE Seismic Research Center on Facebook and they'll get that information. Andre, someone else says, Andre, do you think some of the news you're getting is facts or can it also be so fake news as well when it comes to Trump?
Well, I go to reputable sources, that's for sure. Yeah?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say the BBC is a reputable source?
The BBC is a reputable source.
Yeah, wouldn't
It
you?
is.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
a number of them, not
Yeah.
not Wikipedia.
Yeah, so someone says the earthquake was in 2007, it was 7.4, LOLAP.
And by the way, sorry to disturb you.
Go
You all
ahead.
could go and Google Washington Post and Donald Trump's 30,000 plus lies. Just go and Google it. No problem.
I think you did say
Yeah,
Washington Post.
yeah,
You
just
did
yeah.
actually.
And Washington Post is a reputable organization.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone else says the earthquake was in 2007, 7.4, LOLAP, but you can just type Rev-Up on YouTube and it will show up. Your
Thank you.
page.
Thank you.
Gina, Ivy Jr. says, Good morning to you both. Kisses, kisses right back. Mwah.
Thank you, Gina.
Andre, whenever we know the name Rev-Up St. Lucia, it will come up. Oh, and don't forget the space after
Look at my
Rev-Up
business, boy.
before SLU.
Look at my business. Old school. www dot. Yeah, right?
Well, that's
Yeah.
what you were given. So
Yeah.
you're only doing what you were saying, what you were given. So that's good. Our last comment on our last message rather on WhatsApp. Jojo, good morning, Jojo. She says, Good morning, Kiki, Tony, and Andre. I'm so sick of Sonson.
Mr. Johnson.
Okay.
Who said that?
Jojo. She went on to say, we don't have to wait for teachers to see the different talents in our children. You have a child at your house, you should be able to see the potential in them. Let me behave myself because it's Holy Week. I tell myself I don't want to lead into temptation. LOL. Okay, she says, for true, leave my president alone. He's Trump. So that's for you. And she also went on to say, Andre, you need to move with the times. I'm sure Nairobi would be able to get it for you. And she also went on to say, good news, my guys. We'll be returning TP.
Yes.
Good news.
Mhm.
Right.
Who said that?
Jojo.
Okay, I thought it was Sharon.
Jojo. Sharon chimed in on Facebook earlier.
Okay. Well, to all the hard drive fans who have been clamoring and requesting and demanding that Tony Paul returns, well, he's going to be here, God willing, hopefully next week, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so that's it.
Yeah, that's it. We just had two other people chimed in on Facebook. Again, after that, Peacemaker Return says, Andre, it was 93 lies and it went down to 34.
That's not true. That is not correct. That is incorrect.
Okay.
That is incorrect. And anyway, never mind.
And Lon Jewel says, first time hearing your voice over the air. Wonderful voice and personality. Have a happy Holy Week. Peacemaker returned and says, I guess so, Andre. It bounced. LOL. And Madeline Alexander, the final person to chime in, and she said, I felt it at 12:24.
Around that time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Around
So
that
that's the
time.
final.
It was like a jolt.
Yeah. I didn't feel a thing.
Well, you know, and the thing about those situations, I've often wondered, say for example, I'm playing at Dax and you have an earthquake. I wonder in music they're blasting. Unless you don't start seeing things falling all around you.
You
ain't checking that, huh?
wouldn't feel, because the sound, the speakers, it comes with that.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you most likely wouldn't.
Yeah. And it's yeah.
Unless if it's a really strong, maybe 7 point something magnitude and things are, or maybe higher, and things are, you know.
Yeah. Okay, well, today is Monday. And I'm sure
Yeah.
many of us are planning for the weekend already, because especially those of you, all the ladies and the gents who have been holding back on the country and western dances because that's your sacrifice for the Lenten season. No problem. We have to respect people's views and feelings, etc., etc. So let me just let you know early o'clock that this coming Saturday, I'm going to be at the Grapevine.
Oh, great.
Mhm.
That's in Grosley, right?
That's in Grosley. Bella Rosa, to be more precise. So that's going to be on Saturday. Grapevine with a whole bunch of other DJs going to be there. I know that's going to be a massive event because I said to you, a lot of the ladies, especially the ladies who've been holding back, I'm sure they can't wait to start going out now and do their thing. So that's on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be, God willing, I have to say, make sure I say God willing, Cool Joint in Chazelle. Okay, that's what they call the 12 to 12. So they usually kick off about 12 o'clock in the afternoon, right through until midnight.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah,
That's
so I go
amazing.
there like around 9ish, start about 9, and I finish the vibe. Finish the vibe. Yes,
That's
that's this coming Sunday. All right, so Kina, thank you very much for holding the fort.
Thanks.
I know I can be a real pain in the butt sometimes, but
That's all right.
that's what God designed you all for that, you know.
Oh, really?
Your Sparrow had a song a long time ago, say, let the fool feel like a fool. Let me feel how we want to feel. Yeah, and that's a smart woman who does that, you know, actually. Yeah.
Well.
She knows you're a fool. She knows you're a fool, but she lets you feel, okay, you're the greatest.
Sometimes that's the best thing to do.
Exactly. Let the fool feel how you want to feel. Okay, so Kina, you coming next and you'll be here until 3. What's happening today?
Well, the Wellness Zone, starting last week, even before that, we were talking health, and it's a program dedicated to something we all need, which is balance, healing and better living. And it's called the Wellness Zone, and it would air every Monday right here on the Rev-Up Center. And it's designed to help us sometimes, pause. A lot of the times we don't do. We just live. You just get up and go and do everything else, but we don't, pause, reflect, and take better care of ourselves, both inside and out. How we eat, how we move, how we sleep, how we manage stress. So that program within the Rev-Up Center focuses on that.
Okay.
And that's
good
what
stuff.
it is, as well as the One It Wonder at 12:15. We also have the hit of the day at 12:45. Not forgetting the Rev-Up St. Lucia News with you at 1 p.m. And I'll be taking you inside, the latest with Blue Origin's historic space flight
Oh,
that
yes,
happened this
yes,
morning
this
at
morning.
8 a.m. You may have seen the news, or you may have watched it as well. So I'll touch on that as well.
I'm sure they're probably back by now. If everything went according
If
to
everything
plan.
went according to plan, they should
Yes,
be back
about
by now.
11 minutes, right? About 11 minutes, yeah.
So I'll touch on that. And also find out what items, maybe you may have heard of it, maybe not, but what items the United States has temporarily exempted from new tariffs amid the ongoing trade tensions and some other things. China is actually demanding total cancellation from U.S. tariffs. And that and more.
You
All on
realize
the way.
I said last week in a sick way. I like it.
Yes, you did. You did say that
In a sick way.
You like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, at last somebody standing up to that, to the bully.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Okay, so after you, we're going to be having Zen the DJ from 3 until 6, and then from 6 until 7 is going to be Rev Up the Homegrown with Tony Paul from 6 until 7. So, Kina, have yourself a great show.
Thank you.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, those of you listening and watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X, yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I. Folks, we're getting there, every day is a new edition. And I'm very, very pleased to say that pretty soon we'll be getting our brand new frequency for the FM service. That's coming soon. I think it should be 95.9, but again, we haven't had official confirmation, but most likely it's going to be 95.5. And that's going to be great because there are many, many areas that we've been, bombarded with that French station. So hopefully that'll be a thing of the past.
Yes.
All right? Alrighty. So much more detail and information. Just keep it locked to Rev Up St. Lucia. Bye-bye.
The Grapevine presents Country Meets Old School, happening on Saturday, 19th April 2025 from 6 p.m. onwards. Your country and old school DJs, DJ Sunny, DJ Camo, DJ Max, and